Good morning, good afternoon, good evening YouTubers, wherever you are. You join me on what can only be described as an absolutely glorious British spring. What are we, end of April, beginning of May? So it might be towards the end of May before you see this video, but yeah, I guess it's still spring. I think we probably are. But it is a glorious day in the county of Kent in the UK. Look at it. Look at it. Ah, that's where the airfield is. There's an airfield that's got a nice little coffee shop, apparently. And I've just seen a wind vane. So, putting two and two together, make it four. That's got to be where it is. Rolling Street. Oh, I might have a look on the map when I get home. Anyway, I'm digressing like I normally do. But yeah, you're joining a beautiful day on a Ducati Monster 696, which if you follow this channel, you sad person, you would have just seen me over the last few weeks rebuilding it. I've got a bug on the inside of my visor, bugger off. Yeah, rebuilding it from a bike that was most likely going to be broken for spares. The guy had bought a new engine but wasn't having a lot of luck fitting it. It was quite not a hard job, but he was doing it outside on basically a patio, and that is not impossible, but when you're on your own, that is hard work. Whereas obviously I can do it in a workshop. I can suspend the frame from the ceiling, I can lower it onto the motor, which I can pre-build onto different bits and blah blah blah. Anyway, I didn't quite do it like that. I think I fitted the swing arm after I'd fitted the motor, but you know what I mean. It was a lot easier to do it at home, and I've got the screens on set, and I don't know how to get rid of it because I did just press it to try and find out what the temperature was, and now it's trying to tell me loads of stuff that I don't know what I'm doing. Off lap, and tell me it's got a lap time on it. Light set. Let's just leave it on RPM, shall we? So it doesn't look so silly, but it's about 25 degrees, something like that. But I'm giving it a good old shakedown run because you might have seen on the videos when I thought the bike was finished. I finished the video. I thought I'll give it a quick spin, put it in gear, and it died immediately. Almost like, imagine putting a bike in gear without putting the clutch cable. Clutch lever, you get the idea, or a snapped clutch cable. You get the idea. That's exactly what it was like, because basically the clutch pack was stuck together. So I pulled the clutch cover off and pulled the plates out, and there were two pairs of plates, if you like, four plates absolutely stuck together that had to be levered apart, and the rest of the plates, some of them were quite sticky. And obviously, as you know, when the plates stick to the friction plates, oh that's bumpy, stick to the blame plates, you get a little bit of residue left over. So even though it was all unstuck, it was still a little bit sticky when you put it in gear. I think I put it in gear at idle the first time and it did stall again. Excuse me. But obviously with a few revs, it's just starting to get rid of the debris and muck that was on the plates. So I've left the old oil, which looked quite clean anyway. I've left the old oil in it, and I'm going to go give it a blast to just wear those plates in slightly. And the lever adjustment right now is on the absolute minimum. It's set on 1, so it's as close to the bar as you can get. And look, I can still select neutral. So we're getting there, as you can see. But let's turn it off and we'll have a quick walk round, shall we? Oh, parked in the shade, I should have parked in the sun. Because a bit like the Beamer, if you saw that video, I'm really pleased with how this has come out. There we go. 696 Monster with replacement motor. Crash bungs are back on, as you can see there. The bungs arrived, so I put them on the front wheel because I think this might go to a learner or someone who's maybe less experienced. So this is sort of my contribution, if you like, to keep the bike nice, because it is nice. I bought a black screen for it because it just looks so much nicer than the clear one. It matches with the carbon. And again, people are going to say, if you bought a bike to trade up and you want to make money on it, you don't put money into it, that you don't need to. And while I agree with that, I don't do this to make money. This isn't a business for me. This isn't my living. I've got a proper job. Well, I've got a job. It is a proper job, and that pays my bills, along with other money I've got in, coming in from various other things. So this to me is a bit of fun. My therapy for my, my mental health, whatever you want to call it, is tinkering with bikes, and that's what I do. That's what I love. So chucking a little screen on for the next owner, I don't mind doing that, because it looks nice, and I want it to be nice when it goes to whoever's going to have it. But there we go, the motor's in. That condensation is quite normal. If you own a Ducati, you will see that. You need to get the oil nice and hot. What I do is get it really hot, then leave the filler cap off overnight. Put the filler cap either on your ignition or on your seat, because otherwise, if you do start the bike up, the clutch is in there, it's going to spray oil everywhere. But that helps the liquid evaporate away. But other than that, is this a dog walker? Probably. This is the lane I knocked myself out on the DRZ. But other than that, the bike is done. Look at it. So yeah, really pleased with it. Right, I'm going to switch my camera off because I don't want to fire the bike up with these dogs. I'm going to move it out of the way a little bit, so back in a second. Roll in. This is quite nice. I say, oh dear, that sounds a bit condescending, doesn't it? Quite a nice older lady. I said to her, look, I'm just going to push my bike out of the way and start it up before you get the pups out, because it is quite noisy. She went, oh, that's okay. She goes, oh, yeah, everything's alright. So I'm just doing a YouTube video. Oh, that sounds fancy. I was a bit like, yeah, it's not if you've seen my channel, and that sounds a bit grand, doesn't it, my channel? But I'm almost up to 1,000 subscribers. In fact, this is in a few weeks. I might already be up to 1,000 by then, which is something I could never have dreamed of, because the idea of the channel, as you probably know, is so that when I'm long gone, family I've never met, if you're one of those family, hope you're doing well. But yeah, family I've never met can watch this rubbish to see what I got up to. Just a bit of fun, really. But anyway, back to the Monster. This is sort of a potential little review. Oh, it needs a new speedo sensor. The speedo sensor's not working properly, so it needs one of those. But I mean, these are all national speed limit roads, and I'm probably doing 30 miles an hour. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. But yeah, this is just going to be a review, because I've never owned a Monster. I have owned, I don't know how many Ducatis, a lot. Double figures without even batting an eyelid. I can't even remember, how many of them, how many of different models I've had. In fact, if you count this one, I've still currently got 3. But I've never owned a Monster. So I wanted just to do a little review, because Monsters are, I mean, they're always seen as the bike that saved Ducati, because Ducati were on their arse at one point. They really were. They had no money, they were broke. Look at that. First gear, clutch on 1. Beautiful. Yeah, they were on their arse. And the Monster came out, and it was an instant success. They sold bucket loads. And I've ridden a few 900s, but the early Monsters, although they were a cracking little hooligan bike, I always found myself quite sort of over the front. And those of you that have ridden a Monster will know exactly what I mean. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, it's not a bad thing for a lot of people, because, as I say, they sold a shed load of them. But it wasn't my kind of thing. And as I say, I've never owned a Monster. But literally getting on this little bike, I say little bike, I mean, we've got to remember it is still nearly a 700cc twin. That's not a little bike, is it? 700cc. But getting on this, yeah, we call it a little Monster. I'm going to stop for a photo, aren't I? This isn't my normal bridge, but this one will do. Yeah, getting on the what would be seen as a little monster, instantly from you riding it, it just feels nice. You can see why they sell a lot of them. It rides beautifully, it really does. I always take my pictures on these Royal Military Canal roads. Here we go. In fact, that might even be the thumbnail of this video. But it just rides lovely. I mean, I'm quite lucky in my life. I guess I've ridden an awful lot of bikes when I was a young lad. I worked at a motorcycle dealership, Robinson's in Canterbury. Unbelievably great family, honestly. To have them as bosses was an absolute pleasure. Genuinely nice people. Thoroughly recommend that dealership, Robinson's Foundry in Canterbury. Plug time. So I've ridden an awful lot of bikes, and this is one of those bikes. He's just stalling it. This is one of those bikes where you just get on and you ride it. The controls fall naturally to place. The steering is light. It's light to move around. The pegs are, maybe the pegs are slightly high. My legs have got a fair bend in them. You won't be able to see that. So they could be slightly high, but not uncomfortably so. You're lent a little bit further forward than most of the bikes that I own, apart from maybe the RC. What else have I got that might be further forward? No, I think the RC is the only thing. Oh, and the Panther Cafe Racer. Yeah, but that's extreme in the extremeness. So yeah, you do lean a little bit further forward, but then you've not got much of a screen. So once you're up to speed, in fact, let's wind on a little bit. So straight away, I'm probably doing 50 mile an hour, and I can already feel the wind just taking that weight off of my wrists. So on a long journey, you need earplugs, I'm guessing. See some cyclists up there somewhere. But on a long journey, yeah, it's not going to be uncomfortable. To the point where I've probably only done 10 or 15 miles on this, and I know this is a trading up series, but there they are. But the first time I rode it, I was so impressed. I thought, I really like that, I might keep hold of it for a while. Which isn't the idea of trading up, because you want to trade up to something you want to keep. Well, although then again, if I kept this, then I would have been partly successful, because I made a little bit of money on the RS, but not enough to pay for this outright. And that's the idea. The idea is to pay outright for a motorcycle that has cost me my own labour, which is free. And not only is it free, but it's something I enjoy doing. So that is the plan of this series. So I can't really trade up after one bike, can I? That doesn't really count. I'd almost like to trade up to this at the end. Power-wise, plenty. P for plenty. When I say plenty, if you're used to an R1 or used to a sports bike or used to a multi-strada or something like that, then you might not find it plenty. But I've got, bikes. I think probably what's my most powerful at the moment? Hyperstrada, 115 horsepower, which isn't a lot. And it certainly doesn't feel a lot slower. It is going to be slower, but it's lighter. But torque-wise, it's lovely. It picks up cleanly. The fueling is clean. It sounds nice with the pipes on. I might actually, let me get on a straight a little bit. I'll try the slipper clutch. Let's just drop it down here. Yep, slipper clutch works. You can feel it just trying to lock the back a little bit, but then it eases off. But no, for a let's go this way, because I know this road is nice. So yeah, so as you can see, first gear on the lowest setting. It's lovely. Let's give it a bit of a quicker pull away, shall we? fun. I know these bends. I don't know this bike. Oh, look at that. Spoiled. Oh well. That's part of running down these little lanes. Obviously I don't know this bike all that well, so I'm not going to wang it too fast because I don't know what the front end's like. But, you know, it's stable, it's nice. Yeah. It's going well. Brakes. Yeah, brakes are good. Yeah. What it does to gallon, I don't know. If you're watching this to find out what it does to gallon, find another video, because that's not what this is about. This is going to be about what it's like to ride, and it is really nice. I can get both feet flat on the floor and move it around easily. I've got a 30-inch inside leg. And the main thing about bikes is obviously your inside leg measurement. You can be 6 foot tall with stumpy legs. So there's not a lot of point saying, oh, I'm 7'5" and, you know, I can flat feet, because it's your inside leg measurement that makes a difference. And it is quite a narrow seat. There's a cyclist coming, so I don't want to blast him again. Let's get out of the middle of the road. Let's wind it up a little bit, shall we? Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. I can imagine on a track day, you're going to run out of puff fairly quickly. But this isn't a track day bike, is it? This is a bike for, let's go towards, where should we go, Ruckinge. This is a bike for getting out on the lanes like these. Oh, just enjoying yourself. Yeah. So the Ducati M696 Monster. This is, I think this is a Monster Plus because it's got the screen. Yeah, good old Ducati. They try and make the Plus sound like it's something special, and it is just a little fly screen. But as you know, if you've watched any of my videos, these are the little lanes that I like. I like just batting round, squeezing on the power, and what can I say? Let's just pull over here. So, the M696 Monster, thoroughly recommended. What a hoot. Probably cheap to run, cheap to insure. I don't know what it does to gallon. I'm going to guess 40s, 50s. You can look that up. As I say, this isn't a video for that. But what a beautiful little thing. Rides lovely. I'll be sad to see this one go. The BMW, the R, was a little bit of a reach for me, and it was a bit of a heavy thing, but this is a hoot. So if you're in the market for one of these, go ride one. It doesn't matter if you've come from, I mean, I've had, you know, 1200 multis and, you know, big sports bikes, all that sort of stuff. So I have ridden fast stuff. It's not like I'm working my way up. I'm, if you like, coming back down. Ride one. What a laugh. Yeah. So anyway, if you've enjoyed watching me rebuild this and giving a quick chat on it, hit the subscribe button, as all these people that do YouTube say, and you'll see me on the next venture. What will it be? I don't think it's going to be as much fun as that. I really don't. Yeah, I'm going to miss that. Oh, I can't keep it, can I? It's got to go. Anyway, catch you on the next episode. I'll see you all soon. And ride safe if you're riding. If you're not riding, watch these lousy videos. Take care, everyone.